20, that gives the owner, Jerry Jones, and the front office many options. They can stay where they are and select 2 top players, or they can trade one of those picks to get more selection later in the draft. And that second option is exactly what this mock draft predicts. In this projection, the Cowboys trade the number 12 picks to the New York Jets. In return, Dallas receive pick number 16 plus 4th round pick and 7th round pick in the 2026. That may not sound exciting at first, but it could be a very smart move. The Cowboys do not currently have any picks in the 2nd, 3rd, or 6th rounds, so adding more selection would help them fill more holes on the roster. Last season, the Cowboys' defense struggled badly. They allowed 30.1 points per game, which was the most in the league. They also gave up 377 yards per game, which ranked near the bottom of the NFL league. That is not the standard in the Dallas. The Cowboys are known for the strong defenses, aggressive play, and forcing turnovers, but in the 2026, they forced only 12 turnovers all season. That is simply not good enough for a team that wants to compete for the championship. So what do they do in this mock draft after trading back to number 16? They select Oregon safety Dillon Tienman. He is known as an active defender who can play in different positions. He understands the game very well and reacts quickly to what he sees. The Cowboys often use 2 high safety formation, meaning they keep 2 safeties deep to protect against big plays. Tienman fast and fits that system perfectly. He can read the quarterback, close in fast, and make plays on the ball. He is also physical against the run, which the Cowboys badly need. But the Cowboys are not done there. At the pick number 20, they can back to the 2nd round. They select Clemson cornerback Oviano Talley. This is what many fans call a double dipping. It means selecting 2 players from the same position group to completely rebuild that era. The secondary needs help around standout corner Dallon Bland. Adding Talley would give Dallas another competitive physical corner who can match up against the top wide receivers. The Cowboys are also working with a new defensive coordinator, Christian Parker. A new coach often wants players who fit his system. Talley's aggressive mindset and strong performances at a scouting combine make him an ideal fit. He competes hard, plays with confidence, and does not back down from the big moments. It is important to remember that this is the only mock draft. Nothing is official. Another mock draft from the Dallas Morning News suggests that the Cowboys would stay at pick 12 and 20 and still select 2 defensive backs. That tells you something very important. Many experts agree on one thing. The Cowboys must fix their secondary. Trading back could be risky. If Dallas moves down, they might miss out on a top prospect, but it could also be smart. More draft picks means more chances to find talent. And for a team that has lost the holes and no selection in the same middle rounds, that flexibility is valuable. At the end of the day, this decision will show how serious the Cowboys are about building for the future. Do they want immediate star power, or do they want more depth across the roster? One thing's clear. After giving up the most points in the league last season, change is necessary. The 2026 NFL Draft could define the next era for the Dallas Cowboys football. Whether they stay at 12 or trade back in 16, the goal remains the same: rebuild the defense, force more turnovers, and return to the championship contention. Cowboys fans, get ready. Draft season is heating up, and big moves could be. Cowboys officially placed a franchise tag on the wide receiver George Pickens. This move grants him $27.3 million for the 2026 season. While that sounds like a massive amount of the money, it is actually below the market value for elite wide receiver in today's NFL. George Pickens is coming off a career year. He finished third in the National Football League with 1,429 receiving yards. That is elite production. Even more impressive, he will only be 25 years old when the 2026 season begins. That means he is just entering his prime. Top wide receiver in league are now earning close to $40 million per year on long-term contracts. Franchise tag gives Pickens only 1-year deal. There is no long-term security. There is no guaranteed future seasons for players that can feel risk. Most players do not like being franchise tagged. It limits their long-term earning potential and forces them to prove themselves again, even after a dominant season. Now, here is where things become interesting. Reports from the NFL insiders Don Paulin suggest that Cowboys could actually trade Pickens after placing the franchise tag on him. That sounds shocking at the first. Why tag a player just to trade him? However, we have seen this strategy before. In the 2022, the Green Bay Packers franchise tagged Davante Adams and then traded him at Las Vegas Raiders. It allowed the team to control the situation while still getting trade value. Could the Cowboys be planning something similar? Right now, there is no official indication that Pickens is available. In fact, the Cowboys may simply be using the tag as leverage in contract negotiation, but possibility of the trade cannot be ignored. Imagine this scenario. Cowboys decide they can afford to give Pickens a $40 million per year contract. They explore trade offers. A team desperate for the true number one wide receiver offers a first-round draft picks and additional assets. Suddenly, the Cowboys must make a decision about their long-term future. If George Pickens stays, he and CeeDee Lamb could form one of the most dangerous wide receiver duo in the entire NFL for years to come. That is the dream scenario for the Dallas fans. But the financial reality makes everything complicated, and George Pickens is not only major storyline. There is another name creating serious buzz across the league: Max Crosby of the Las Vegas Raiders. Reports indicate that Raiders are in full rebuilding mood. When teams rebuild, they often trade star players in exchange for the draft picks. Max Crosby is an all-pro pass rusher and one of the most respected defensive players in football. Even in what was considered a down year, Crosby recorded 10 sacks and earned a Pro Bowl selection. The season his production dipped slightly was simple. He was double-teamed constantly because he had very little help on the defense line. Now the question is simple. Which team makes the most sense for the Crosby? The Cowboys are now 7 teams. One of the 7 teams reported victory for the Max Crosby. Dallas already has a superstar pass rusher, Micah Parsons, who already gone from the Dallas Cowboys. Parsons was explosive and dominant as a pass rusher, but critics sometimes point out that he was not as strong against the run. Max Crosby is considered a more complete defensive end. He can lash a pass and set the egg against the run. Pairing Crosby with Williams would instantly create one of the most terrifying defensive fronts in the league. But there is a problem: salary cap space. After tagging George Pickens, Cowboys do not have much flexibility. They would need to restructure multiple contracts to afford Crosby's salary. That creates long-term financial risk. Other teams are also being discussed for the Max Crosby, including Chicago Bears, are reportedly aggressive. They are trying to rebuild a contender, and quickly a move for Crosby would signal they are serious about competing immediately. Baltimore Ravens could also use pass rusher help, but they have financial concern as well. Buffalo Bills are in the interesting situation. They still have quarterbacks like Josh Allen, but team has not taken the next step forward, a championship. Some believe adding Crosby could push them forward. Others believe they need to rebuild through the draft instead. The New England Patriots might be the most logical destination. They have cap space, they have strong defense. Adding Crosby could make them a true championship contender again. And also Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Rams are loom at the possibility. The Rams are particularly feel like a team whose championship window is open right now. Adding Crosby could immediately push them back into Super Bowl contention. So what does all this mean for the Cowboys? This offseason will define the next 5 years for the franchise. Do they commit long-term money to George Pickens? Do they risk major salary cap to restructuring the chance of the Max Crosby? Or do they stay patient and breathe through the draft? Cowboys are always one of the most talked about teams in the NFL. Owner Jerry Jones is known for bold moves. Fans expect the drama, and right now, the drama is just beginning. One thing's certain: 2026 season could reshape the entire future of the Dallas Cowboys. And until contracts are signed and trades are finalized, every rumor will continue to grow louder. Dallas is at crossroads. Will they double down on star power, or will they take a more cautious approach? Covering the contracts of the quarterback Dak Prescott, a wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, and guard Tyler Smith. That is a huge amount of the money. And when owner Jerry Jones says that the team plans is to spend more in free agents than